don't shut down your marketing funnel during the holidays just to save a few bucks, because all the marketing you do in November and really into December is going to set up your January to have a ton of leads.
Welcome to the Collecting Keys Friday Focus.
Hey there, welcome back to another episode of the Collecting Keys Friday Focus. You have me here today again as your host, Dan Austin. If you're new here, these are the episodes where Mike or I like to take a deep dive into a specific topic, go on a rant, or just talk about something that we care about. And hopefully you all listening enjoy these sorts of things, and that's why you're here. And if you do enjoy these, if you get one little thing that you're like, that actually kind of helped me think differently about this, go and give us a 5-star review and a rating or a comment wherever you listen to your podcasts. Apple, iTunes is a great place to do that. And I'm still giving away shirts. If you don't like our swag, but you know somebody that will and you want a Christmas gift, literally just take a screenshot of you making that rating and review. Send it to me on Instagram at InvestorManDan or wherever you do social media. You can find me there on that handle. And I will literally send you no shipping costs, no cost at all, a free Collecting Keys shirt of your choice. Got a lot of cool swag on the store. We make no money on this stuff. We just like to see these shirts get out in the wild because it's so cool to be able to walk down the street and see someone wearing a BDE shirt or a Collecting Keys podcast shirt. So anyhow, it helps us grow. So if you don't mind just taking a few minutes to do that, it literally takes less than 30 seconds. I would appreciate it. So thank you so much for listening and following us. All right. So today I want to talk about follow-up and marketing systems during the holidays and how you can literally make a lot of money during this time of year and also set up 2024 or that next January as the most epic, right? Because what we find is the holidays, through Thanksgiving and Christmas, the work you put in during the last 6 weeks of the year are what set you up to have an epic first week of the following year. All too often, people in the real estate industry, for some reason, they shut down. They say nobody wants to move, nobody wants to sell their property during the holidays. Absolutely. I don't disagree. A lot of people aren't that way, but there are also a lot of people that don't care, right? There's landlords out there, and we've done deals like this. We bought an 8-unit like this where we closed on December 31st because the landlord needed to sell it for tax purposes by the end of the year. He called us in December, and we made that thing happen. So there are people that do want to sell properties. There are people that do want to move, but also you're trying to set up that January. You're trying to set up after the holidays to be the very first person that they think about when they make that decision or have that call scheduled with. Because like I said, all too often people in our industry decide that they want to shut down during the holidays. And that's great. Take 6 weeks off. This thing's going to air December 1st. If you want to take the next 4 weeks off, that's great. Recharge your batteries. But just know people like Mike and I, we're going to be out there. We're going to be hustling. We're going to be using our systems. And here's how I think about it. If Coca-Cola or Pepsi, would they these major, companies, would they just stop marketing during November and December because, we don't think people want to buy our product as much? Absolutely not, right? And so if you just stop marketing in December because it's the holidays, you're literally giving up 1/12 of your potential revenue. And mind you, a lot of businesses in the consumer world do most of their business during the holidays because that's when people are in the mood to spend money and they feel like they have to. It might be different for us in real estate. However, I will say that literally, if you're shutting down your marketing system, then you're going to give up, again, 1/12 of your potential revenue. You're at least going to give up a large percentage of your potential revenue. Other companies aren't doing it. Why are you justifying that you should completely shut down your business during this holiday? So if I was to say, diving into the marketing piece, one of the things that I like to say is just don't shut it down, keep it going, but be strategic about how you are going to do your marketing. We do direct mail. For us, we strategically place when those mail drops are going to happen. Typically, we just send every Friday, we send out our mail so it hits Monday or Tuesday. What we'll do is we'll strategically order our direct mail so that it will not land on a holiday. Because let's be honest, as you get closer to the holiday, people are traveling, people are less likely to check their mail, and then it just builds up and they've got a stack of junk mail, and we just fall into it. It's just less likely that they're going to pick up the phone and call you. They might save your card though, so it is worth mailing, but just try to be strategic around it. So for December, we will do 3 mail drops instead of 4 to try to work around that Christmas holiday. Cold calling and texting, same thing. Keep doing those. You can do those all the way up until the holidays. Don't be gross though. It's tacky. Don't cold call. Don't text them on the holiday. If it's Christmas, give them some time. If it's Thanksgiving, which I know we're already past, but just don't do it. It's just kind of give them their family time, give them their space. But definitely as you get closer and as you work up to those holidays, it's a great time to continue to market to these folks. And like I said, you don't ever in any circumstance want to reduce your funnel's operational capacity. So keep your marketing, keep your leads coming into your business so that you can continue to work new leads and be ready to rock and roll after the holidays, if not during the holidays. When it comes to follow-up, keep doing your follow-up. And here's a good example of why you need to keep doing your follow-up. So last week was Thanksgiving week. One of our sales guys was doing his follow-up, and we were watching kind of our response rates. They're tanking. They're kind of going down, lower throughout the week as we got closer to Thanksgiving holiday. And we expect that. We know we're going to get lower lead responses during the holidays, and we know we're going to get lower follow-up responses from our leads during the holidays. And that's okay, because as he was getting to close to the end of the day on Wednesday, he was able to finally get a hold of a seller that he had been following up with for a couple weeks. And he was able to sign a contract with that seller at like 3, 4, 5 p.m. I don't know, it was the end of the day, right before Thanksgiving, signed a contract, and we'll be closing on that deal in December. Had we not done that follow-up, 4 days would have gone by, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Maybe nobody would have called them. Maybe another wholesaler would have called them on Saturday or on Friday and would have got it under contract or next week, or maybe we would have never got the seller back on the phone. We don't know, but we do know doing that follow-up during that period of time, it does help because we've signed so many deals. Another example of a deal that we signed, this was a couple years ago, we signed an 8-unit property because the seller needed to sell this property before the end of December. He kind of procrastinated, kind of waited. Anyways, got into December, we were following up with him, we got it under contract, and then we closed on that property literally December 31st for him. That property ended up netting Mike and I a couple $100,000. So it's definitely worth operating. Just that one deal alone for most people could totally change their trajectory of their life or trajectory of their business. So that's just another good example of why doing your marketing, doing your follow-up during the holidays will really help set you up. With the follow-up stuff, I will say that, again, you're going to see like lower response rates, but that's okay. Just keep hitting up your calls and your text. If you get to a point to where you have sellers that just aren't answering the phone, here's a good tip and trick that we use is like, just leave a voicemail and then text them. Just say, hey, Mr. Seller, this is so-and-so with whatever your company's name is. Like, hey, I know you're probably super busy. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get a hold of you during the holiday season. I bet you got a lot going on. Can we set up a time to just chat after the holidays? We'll get through this stressful time, blah, 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 kind of go on that way and set up a time with them. And that'll sometimes get them to say, you know what, that's cool. Yeah, 2 weeks. They'll set it out in the future. They'll respond so that you stop calling and texting them. So that's a really good tactic. Also, as you're talking to these sellers, when you do get them on the phone during like this holiday season, if they say like, hey, I'm just too busy, I'm kind of stressed out, or I just don't have time right now, talk to me after the holidays. Respect that. Just put them out there on a follow-up sequence to come in January once we get through the holidays. But here's another tip and trick on how to do this. When they say that, say, absolutely, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I would love to do that, kind of give you some time to think about this and to get through the holidays. It's always a stressful time of year. Can I follow up with you on whatever day, January 3rd? How does 8 or 9 a.m. sound? Or if they're working, hey, how does this time sound? Like, when can I call you? And really lock in a specific time as close as you can. They may say, hey, I don't know what I'm going to be doing. Just give them a generic time that you're going to try to call them and then call them on that time. What that does is that shows them that you are willing to do exactly what you say you're going to do. It builds a little bit more trust, builds a little bit more rapport with these sellers who don't often get that from a lot of people they work with. And so by doing what you say you're going to do, January 3rd comes around, you call them at 9 a.m. and they answer the phone like, holy cow, I can't believe you actually said that. And you did it. And that really starts the conversation off really well. And it gives them some responsibility because they've kind of agreed to set an appointment. And people are less likely to miss an appointment or not show up to an appointment that they've set, right? If you just say, hey, I'm going to call you on this day, good chance they might not answer because they just don't have that same responsibility. They don't feel like they owe you anything because they didn't necessarily agree to anything. So that's just another tip and trick here on the follow-ups. I'll just close out this quick episode with summarizing like marketing. Don't shut down your marketing funnel during the holidays just to save a few bucks, because all the marketing you do in November and really into December is going to set up your January to have a ton of leads, because people will hold on to those cards. They might not want to make a decision now, but they will call you in January if they are motivated to sell. They have New Year's resolutions. They have some time around family. They just make these decisions that, you know what, it's time. Enough is enough. I'm going to sell my house. I want to do this. I want to do that. They also might call you and say, I need to sell right before the first of the year for tax reasons, divorce reasons, whatever those reasons are. So definitely keep marketing, and then continue to operate your follow-up systems as you would, with some adjustments to accommodate people for the holidays, setting appointments for post-holidays with people, and being really rigid on your follow-up once you do get post-holidays. Don't just kind of get nervous or don't just kind of get lazy. Actually, January comes around, hit those phones like you've never hit them before. text these clients back, get them on the phone, do whatever you can, because everybody's going to be doing that. And the new year, new me type attitude is a perfect opportunity to take advantage of that with a lot of your leads. So I'll stop there. Remember, marketing and follow-up systems are absolutely critical during this time of year. If you found this valuable, hit me up wherever you do social media, Investor Man Dan. If you didn't find it valuable, I love constructive feedback as well. Just let me know what you think. Other than that, I will catch you next week. See ya.
Thanks for listening to this Collecting Keys Friday Focus. Be sure to subscribe wherever you listen to your podcasts.